Today we will unravel the tag team tale of a duo that redefined the game, the British Bulldogs. The cousins Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid not only dominated the tag team scene, but with Dynamite Kid's matches against Tiger Mask in Japan, paved the way for cruiserweights years later. The Dynamite Kid Thomas Billington was born in Goulburn, Lancashire, England. His father Bill and uncle Eric Billington were both boxers in their youth, his grandfather Thomas Billington a bare-knuckle fighter. His adherence to sports, particularly wrestling and gymnastics, helped him develop a relatively small but powerful and agile physique. In addition, he had also received training in boxing and attended the famous Snake Pit, where already established legends like Carl Gotch and Billy Robinson honed their craft. If you guys are interested, I could make a future video about this legendary training ground and its famous students, who shaped the landscape of wrestling and mixed martial arts. Just let me know in the comments. The powerhouse of the two, David Smith, who was born in the same city, became the target of bullying at school first. Smith found pleasure in playing cricket, football, and diving as his hobbies, and eventually built up his enormous physique. But how strong were those two? And what did their workout routine and diet look like? As far as their training regimen goes, I have come across some old training clips, as well as the British Bulldogs' detailed diet and training routine, which I have put into an Excel sheet for anyone who is interested. In some older footage, both men train together, and while Davey focuses on compound movements like the bench press and rows, Dynamite Kid performs various curling variations. While we do not see him performing any larger exercises, it was once mentioned that he can bench press 450 pounds and curl 200 pounds, but both of these claims are unverified. The powerhouse of the team, Davey Boy, can be seen benching 310 pounds for 9 to 10 reps, with a pause. In another video, he lifted 500 pounds for 3 reps with a fairly high speed, does some cable flies, curls around 90 to 120 pounds for reps, and finishes the session with some leg work, consisting of leg extensions, leg curls, and leg presses. His actual 1-rep max might have been somewhere up to 530 pounds. During a workout in Kuwait, he takes us through a back workout consisting of behind-the-neck pull-downs, lat pull-downs, pullovers, and one-arm rows. The single-arm rows seem to be somewhere between 90 and 175 pounds, but it is difficult to tell because machines vary not only in weights, but also in lever arms. There is also an old workout instruction video, but since most lifts were not performed by him or used for demonstration, we cannot tell his true strength based on that. However, we can see his true strength on display with his famous delayed vertical suplex, where he even manages to lift up and hold a behemoth like Vader. As far as his diet goes, it is fairly typical for bodybuilders. His macros were set with a higher protein and saturated fat intake, with carbs placed around workouts. Overall, he ate fairly nutritiously. The first meal for training days off the road were some typical English breakfast food items. Each big meal was followed with a big glass of water. The breakfast would also act as his pre-workout meal. He would eat lunch within 45 minutes after training was done. The main portion of this lunch consisted of protein to support his recovery after training. His lunch would typically include 2 chicken breasts, some spinach with mushrooms or a salad of some kind and a bit of dressing, some sort of carb, like pasta, baked potato or rice, just as a side. Another common option was some sushi. After lunch, he would have a snack in the form of soups. Dinner would typically consist of an 8 to 10 ounce T-bone or ribeye steak with cooked mushrooms, broccoli or green vegetables, with salt and olive oil and mashed or baked potatoes with a bit of sour cream or plain yogurt. On days when Davey was on the road, meals were a lot different because he only had himself to feed. It was more of a family affair when he ate at home, so his food was often more specific on the road, at hotels and restaurants. A full glass of orange juice or apple juice mixed into a protein shake that he would make in a shaker container just before training. Davey would eat a banana along with this drink. Around 30 minutes post-training would be some high-protein meal like 10 egg whites, a 6 to 8 ounce ribeye steak, medium rare, and some coffee. That's all for today. I want to say a big thank you to all the new viewers recently. If you want to help the channel out, like and subscribe, and if you are interested in more crazy 80s tag teams, you can check out the Road Warriors and their even stronger manager.